All right, everybody, we are on set with an incredible team. Logan, BTS photos, and built this entire table with SB. What an absolute king. Tommy, Jackson. Ellie back there, my dad right there. Everything is going amazing right now. It's so nice to have this team. Sam was like, Luke, you gotta trust, we need a bigger team, this is awesome. And I'm like, oh wow, I have all this time to think. This is weird, I can think about story and talk to people. That's weird. So it's going great, we're getting everything ready. We're a little behind schedule because we're figuring out how to get everything perfect, but once we get going, we gonna cook. The tone for this movie is a sci-fi world set in a dystopian setting of this blank white room. So Jackson, our grip right now, is getting the lights set up to be this very bright and not a ton of contrast. Obviously, we put a little in, and that was with Tommy's suggestion. He was the cinematographer for today. And Tommy, we were shooting on my Sony FX6. He brought in his 7-inch small HD monitor. Wow, I've not used the 7-inch monitor before, but I need it. There's me also just being a goofball. Sorry guys, I'm just a goofball like that. We're shooting also on a Dana Dolly to get all those movements, because if you don't have movements, you're not creating cinema. Camera needs to move. If it's not moving, it's gonna be boring. Then we have Brady, West, Dale, Dobson getting ready right there. And then Hallie ironing out. All of these actors did an amazing job today and were so nice to work with. Brady, what a legend, playing chess. And you might remember Brady as one of the German soldiers in The Great Escape, my short film before this. We met all of them, well, two of them, Hallie and Dale through backstage, and then Brady from our local theaters. And then Sam and Logan setting up stands, setting up the tables, getting everything ready. Sam, just the ultimate handyman. He is the ultimate producer. A lot of producers, I feel like, sometimes stay back. Sam does not stay back. Sam is the one building. He's getting his hands dirty. He's laying over the dirt hole so everyone else can walk across safely. SB, that's just the normal SB praise, as you will always hear from me. Tommy and Jackson talking about how they're gonna set up these lights. Something for me, I'm very happy that I don't wanna worry about light. I wanna worry about the tone of the lighting, but I don't wanna worry about specifics. I wanna worry about the story. The story is my job as the director. Following through on the story is my job. So having these guys to talk about it is something for me, a first time thing I've had access to. I'm only at 20 years old, so I have a lot of time to learn, but this was a great production in saying, how have I made films without this? I need this every time. Zella is the name of the movie, written by my dad, who is a filmmaker, actor, writer. He was the actor in my last film, but he got to be the writer for this one. So it does pay to have kids because they'll make movies for you. Right now, as the director, or the first things that I do when I get in the door are making sure that everyone else is comfortable and is helped. Making sure that I know what I need in communicating that to every position, to the producer, Sam, to the cinematographer, Tommy, to the script, even working with my dad, Mark Ring, the script supervisor there, even with BTS, with Logan, and Jackson, our grip, just making sure that everyone on set feels comfortable, and then going to the actors. So a little bit of history about me as a director. I'm a 20-year-old director, and this was my first time shooting a film where I get to fully direct. Usually I'm the DP, the cinematographer, and directing. So I'm usually have no time to talk to actors or communicate to, I mean, I do have time. It's like the saying, you don't have time, but yeah, I do have to. It's just I have more time now. So getting to sit right now, I'm sitting and we're preparing for this first shot, which is a dolly in. And I'm sitting there with Jackson, the grip, and the flannel, and then Tommy on the Dana dolly. And we were originally going to shoot this movie on a wheelchair with Tommy holding the camera for all these dolly shots. It was going to be super budget friendly, very, very, and I'm glad it wasn't, because it would have made us look very unprofessional. And I think we are starting to get professional. As Sam evolves as a producer and as I evolve as a director, and all the people around us bringing in better people to have, is just elevating us so far. And then we are about to get rolling here, and you get to hear some director's commentary. And action! And Samantha?
Dr. Mason, I have them ready for you.
Thank you.
Would you like me to bring them in?
Yes.
And cut. Good. That was a great dolly, Tommy. Thank you. Great delivery also, both of you. I think the biggest thing will be is you are the antagonist, right? Like showing, but without, obviously, you know,
Right,
upset,
right. Yeah,
like,
he's not cruel, he's just cynical.
Yeah, Clint, yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great way to put it. And then we were talking about the coverage, just going through.
Yep, shoot your face further this.
Shooting, just going through. We are getting in the feel for shooting coverage on the day. We had about 5 hours total to shoot, I believe, 37 different shots, which you're like, okay, that's about five to 8 shots per hour there. And working with Tommy and figuring out the stuff to get it set, figuring out the shot list was a huge saver. Having this giant TV is something, usually it's just me looking at the TV, but now we have a bunch of eyes looking at the TV. Film is a collaborative process. So sitting here and collaborating with these guys is really big. And working with the actors, collaborating with the actors, what process I go through. My process is I like to talk to and see what they think too. I don't like to give suggestions until after we do the first take because I want to see what they themselves have come up with. Sitting here watching this take, I was so impressed with the actors. They really, really did an amazing job. And it was great to be able to just sit back and watch and call action. Wow.
You see,
Much.
major difference.
Major difference.
Major. That boom when we're doing the tight shots, that's your bread and butter.
Yeah.
You know, it is not anything you're going to use right now at all. It's ambience. You know, you could use it as adding reverb to the sound if you wanted. But
not for.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's
just
such a big difference.
It is. Yeah. It's so interesting how all these different parts of things of like how those big little why you need all the sound guide that knows all of those things.
Really understands it. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No, it's gonna stay like this.
Yeah.
I got it. All right. And camera speeds. Scene 7, take 7. There we go. So camera settled.
The biggest hurdle of the day was being on the time clock, and I don't like shooting coverage. Directors like Christopher Nolan like to shoot in order to get what they want, and they have one shot for what they want. I don't want to shoot a wide, a tight, and a medium and pick in the edit. There's a clear pick. If it's a close-up, it needs to be a close-up. Now, I know there's benefits to shooting coverage, but it also takes longer. But with all this setup and all these huge lights and in this studio, we needed to shoot coverage, which is something that I haven't really done, which just means we're going to run through the script over and over again from these different angles. I mean, we did about 2 to 3 raw takes from beginning to end, and this is when it was like, okay, having professional actors instead of your friends, evolving of like, they're going to be able to do the script from start to end and evolve and getting different shots of like, okay, I know I want to only have a couple wide shots, but let's just run through it all just in case. And this is actually a really positive thing.
Yep, we're good. All right, so the move is dollying back.
Yep, just a dolly back, yep.
And now are we wanting to stop at the table just so we have a little bit of motion? Like, I could either go.
Yeah, because once we back out, the shot gets rough. Cut. Love it. Working right now with Tommy was an absolute joy. I got to communicate my vision, and while he is making that vision happen, I get to go talk to the actors. Like you see me right there talking to Brady. We're working on this story while Tommy and Jackson are getting everything perfect. This is something as a director, and I think this is how I'm going to be as I kind of evolve as a director, because I'm only 20, is, okay, as I get better here, maybe I can start to take on, usually they say, are you a cinematographer's director, or are you an actor's director? And I think I'm definitely pulled towards actors, but I also, because I am a director of photography also and a camera op, I love the image and getting the image. And that was something I had to let go of here, but I'm glad I did because Tommy could do it way better than I could. And it's something like, I'm gonna need Tommy every time. I wasn't really worried about lighting. I told the mood and what the tone needs to be, and I allowed them, and I looked at the image, and if I was happy with the image, I knew that in the studio, there's really only one way to light it. And that kind of gave me the feel of like, I want it to be this cleanly lit studio, to feel cold to feel dark.
Look at that. Yeah, that sounds
Nice.
That's good.
20 minutes.
Alright, so let's get a start.
I don't see it though. That was good. I was letting you guys play it out. I didn't know where you're going.
Where's it at?
I didn't know where you're going that far. No, you're good. That was good.
I think you're lying. Why is it not there?
It's going great so far. It's a little busy, vlog. You usually know this is me shooting, me directing. I'm just directing, so I gotta be a little patient. Sam's running our audio back here. Everyone else is doing amazing. Thank you for joining us.
So yeah, right after you.
When I edit this, I probably won't. I'm gonna look at it. I watch all the footage the night of that we filmed, and I dump it all. And the panic of being behind on schedule. You're looking at it right here. I'm looking at my script and my shot list, and while I'm looking at it, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I am so glad that I made a shot list and went over this and prepared. There's an amazing quote that basically says something to the effect of, if you are nervous, it just means you're not prepared enough. And I agree with that so much because that just basically says you need to over-prepare. You need to be fully prepared because it can only help. In some cases, I think as an actor, sometimes doing, I don't know where, in different roles, obviously, but as the director, you need to be over-prepared. Also, I think as a director, I did a great job for the first time of having a cinematographer of not being an absolute micromanager behind them, of giving creativity, of saying, okay, if we have a take I like, Tommy, I want to see you do something you like. Of giving, there's this really great friend of mine, he's a director, and he had a great piece of advice for me. I was like, Vince, what should I do as a director here, working first time with a bigger crew? And he just goes, empower, empower, empower. Everyone on set, it's your job to give them that energy, to bring the energy, to give them this feeling of, you can do it, I trust you. So like with every aspect of the film, with the actors, saying I want you to play, obviously giving notes and getting your vision. But once you get your vision, or when you're close to your vision and they have an idea and you have the time to hear that idea, do it. Obviously if you're on schedule, but there's SB and I dying laughing at a scene, and oh, we're just jokesters. Oh, whoa, what are we doing there? Whoa, this commentary is going crazy. This is like a director's commentary. That's how I think of some of these behind the scenes. But what I'm saying is you should give all these people the empower them. Like, it goes such a long way, and we got so much great stuff. Even with so my dad, who wrote the script, also acting as boom operator there, was someone that was almost like my safe place. Now, this is almost like if I were to dive into the psychology of this, of like your father is the person you're going to go to feel safe, or your parental guardian of whoever is around you in a workplace, maybe you gravitate towards them. And that was totally, I would go to him, and his job was to make sure we're getting what we need, keeping notes on the script, and kind of just floating around and being a helpful hand. But being able to go to him or go to Sam and say, hey, what do we have? What do we need? And, oh, that was another thing. Sam, the legendary producer, as you know, SB gets so much praise. But he did so amazing. He took on handling the audio, which we recorded externally. Now, usually we record internally. We didn't have enough budget to bring in an audio person or to get an extra hand to run audio. So that was Sam, and he picked that up.
I think if anything, if I could see this differently, I would go
higher. It's going great. Everyone's killing it. Tommy's absolutely killing it. Greatest cinematographer in the whole universe. It's crazy. They're about to start calling.
Just the producer.
As soon as I walked in the door today, I had the biggest smile on my face. I was just so happy to be making a movie, and to be quite honest with you, to be in the driver's seat of that, of all those nerves. And let me tell you, I had a lot of nerves going into this, but once I was there, and I still had them, but I was just so happy. As soon as I saw Tommy setting up the camera, seeing Jackson set up the lights, seeing Sam hand out contracts, see Logan taking behind the scenes photos, and to see my dad walking around, helping out, looking at the script, writing notes, writing on the clapperboard. I was like, I love this. This is what I am supposed to do. And in those moments, when you feel that, you have to acknowledge it. Music was playing. I knew that this is what I'm going to do, and Sukavision is going to be great, and we're going to keep making amazing things as long as I have good people like this around me. So having this great team really, really boosted up the production, and this is easily the best project I've ever made.
I don't really go for the apple. Like, I feel like Dr. Mason saves the apple for the end of a session. Why? So once Samantha comes in and it's under control, then I think he feels like he can really acknowledge and enjoy it. But yeah. But I could pick it up when he's going on his little rampage, going, okay, this is about over. I'm gonna.
The conversation I'm having with Dale right now was also one of my favorite moments of this production, just diving into what about this character. And he walked me through. I said, Dale, hey, let's try it a little more upset, a little angry. You're the antagonist. For the storytelling here, you have to be the person that people hate here. And he was like, I agree with you, but I also think with this certain route, now I'm not going to reveal what that is because you got to go watch the movie when it comes out. It's currently in the festival circuit. But he walked me through his thought process. And in that moment, it was like a learning curve. I was like, okay, I love learning the thought process behind something. So when you ask someone, why did you do that? Ask, you're learning why their thought, and they can help you maybe discover something new too. And those conversations can only help. If you're like, me, my ideas are best, I think that can work, but that's not the type of director I am.
Whoa, that's me, Cam.
Because I do not want it full black, because I think it needs to have a little light.
You look big, I'm doing to be way more intense than I am.
Yeah, to see that skin. So it's going to be a little awkward.
Just for the LR vlog.
Yeah.
There you go.
OSB, what an absolute goofball. This dolly shot is so crazy, by the way. I can't wait for you to see that. This is an artsy moment. Now, this is when I'm reading the script. Can we get a static? When you're like, I think the director's job is almost to take a story. I mean, literally, I'm describing what the director does is takes a story and adapts it. And I think they adapt it in an interesting way that not everyone else could see or wants to see with bolder ideas. And this blue light is, there's a scene where the character watches something on a projector, and you can take that as maybe just the projector's playing. But I saw this as almost like the Oppenheimer sequence, this crazy light, the music's playing in this huge moment here that happens, and added it in, and now that's like my favorite part of the movie, and it's like, okay, being bold is what storytelling should be. And you should be saying, okay, if a story can be told normal, how can I make this better? A director is also measured on how well they can stay on budget, on schedule, or how well can they get what they need. And I think this also goes with like the producer and the assistant director and all these different roles. There's a lot of people responsible for getting it done quickly, but the director being able to stay on task, I was nervous. I'm like, shoot. On a smaller set, I feel like I can handle this, but as we get bigger, can I stay on schedule? And I shocked myself a little bit. I knew I'd get it done, and I really have confidence in myself and believe in myself, but we 100% finished everything we wanted on the day. And that was a huge blessing because there was a moment where Sam looked at me and he goes, Luke, you're going to have to cut stuff. And I was like, he's right. If we don't cut stuff, we're not going to finish. Love it.
Cuts.
It's like,
That was cool.
this didn't cover your eyes. It's gonna be so bad.
That was sick. It was close.
Did it work?
It did. It worked for me.
What we're gonna do, we're
Pretty good. We don't need you for the scene.
No,
Yeah.
just the Tico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Hallie. Nice job.
great job. Thank you so much. Make sure you send me an invoice.
All right, we're going to bust these out quick. This is the POV, so we need you to come sit down. Yep.
Oh, this is the first.
Okay, yeah, run it back. All right, we're running it back. A big thing I'm working on as a young director is learning how to have good conviction. There's a great anime, Hunter x Hunter, and they talk about, this is getting real nerdy here, but I don't care. You got to have a great conviction. Like the best fighters, the champions, have great conviction. Basically meaning you need to fully believe in what you are doing. And if I'm ever communicating to the crew and I'm unsure, now I think it's okay if I'm talking to Sam or someone that I trust, but when you're working with first-time people, especially, or first time on your crew or working with you, your conviction's gotta be like maxed out almost. Like I have to be very confident. Even if the decision turns out to be bad, obviously be like, hey, let's try that again a different way. But when you are speaking about your ideas, and even to the actors, you need to be very clear and direct, because it only hurts to be undirect.
Cut.
Love it.
Yep.
I think between those, and that's the type of thing where like we can cut to him watching him walk in.
Right.
I think we go to, let's take that off the black sheet. What are the lines, Dad, script? Where are the lines in my shot list where it's the look left and right, where's my shot list? This will be, I need to see what Dale's lines are.
Is it under that? I think it's under that list.
Making a film is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Hurry up and wait is the biggest term thrown around in the film industry, because you literally you're waiting on someone else always. But in the director's role, you are the one kind of sending those troops out to go complete tasks. And that's something usually I'm a little bit better at, but at the beginning of the shoot, I didn't do a good job of getting us moving and working with Tommy and Jackson. I let them do their thing because I was kind of taking it at a slower pace. And if I were to go back, that's one thing I would have done better, is been hands-on right there, saying, hey, let's set this up. I like that lighting. Good. Actors, are we ready? I kind of played it too slow at the beginning, where I need to be like, boom, 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 let's go. Let's get things moving and get a really great start, because we started really sluggish. And the director, if the movie's good, it's on the director. If the movie's bad, it's on the director. The blame and praise will go to the director. So you're carrying a lot of role because you are directing. Obviously, the whole team is responsible for wins and losses, but that's just what it's looked at as, and that's on me. I wish we would have started faster, but we ended great, and I am very, very, very happy with how everything went. At the end of the day, we got everything we needed, and this production was great. And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.